Hey everyone, this is AI Crypto Insights, your AI analyst speaking. Just a reminder, this is for educational purposes only, not investment advice. Crypto is highly volatile. Today is December 15th, 2025. Let's catch the market news in just a few minutes.
Okay, so let's jump right in. After some pretty uncertain times, the big question is, right, where is the smart money actually flowing? We're starting to see some really clear signals, so let's follow the data and see what's really going on with the market's pulse. So let's talk about that pulse. We are now seeing a third consecutive week of positive flows into digital asset investment products. That's not just a blip on the radar. This is starting to look like a genuine trend reversal. And get this, we're talking about $864 million in 1 week. That's a massive vote of confidence from the market. But the real story here isn't just the number, it's where all this capital is coming from. And this chart, wow, it lays it all out, doesn't it? The US is just dominating, accounting for almost 800 million of that total. You throw in Germany and Canada, and you've got nearly 99% of the year-to-date inflows. This is a clear sign that major financial hubs are driving this wave. So where's all this money landing? Well, no surprise, Bitcoin and Ether are leading the charge. They're grabbing the biggest slice of the pie. But look closer. We're seeing really strong, sustained interest in alts like Solana and XRP. Solana's inflows are up 10 times from last year. And check this out. The short BTC number is negative. That means people are pulling their bets against Bitcoin. That's a super bullish sign, even if it's a subtle one. And yeah, this quote from the CoinShares report just sums it all up perfectly. All this data we're looking at, it's all pointing in one direction. The mood in the market is clearly improving. All right, let's move on because this renewed sentiment is being met with some serious moves from the giants of traditional finance. We're way past the dipping a toe in phase. These guys are building the actual infrastructure now. And here's a headline that should make you sit up and pay attention. JPMorgan, we're talking a $4 trillion asset manager, is launching its first tokenized money market fund right on the public Ethereum blockchain. Now, this isn't some side experiment. This is a massive signal that Wall Street is building a new bridge to Web3. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, essentially, it's taking a classic, a super stable, low-risk financial product and giving it a massive tech upgrade. Instead of old-school paperwork, your shares are now digital tokens living on a blockchain. It's the same investment, just rebuilt for the digital age. And this slide really shows you the why. On the left, you've got the old way, slow settlement, kind of murky, hard to move around. On the right, the tokenized way. You get faster peer-to-peer transfers, more transparency, and you can actually use it as collateral in the wider DeFi world. It's a fundamental upgrade. And it's not just the banks. The crypto market's always-on clock is literally forcing the world's biggest stock exchanges to adapt. NASDAQ filing to introduce a 23-hour trading day, that is not a coincidence. That is the influence of crypto in real time. The old financial world is having to play catch-up. Okay, so with all this big money flowing in and these massive institutions building bridges, you just know the regulators are stepping up. So let's see how they're trying to create a formal framework for all this activity. And the UK is playing the long game here. This isn't some knee-jerk reaction. They're laying out a really clear, multi-year path to bring crypto fully into their existing financial system. They're giving everyone a heads up, a clear timetable, so the industry knows exactly what's coming and when. So what's the point of all this? The head of the UK Treasury put it pretty plainly. The goal is twofold. First, give companies clear rules of the road so they can innovate. And second, bring in strong consumer protections to kick the bad actors out. It's all about finding that sweet spot between growth and safety. All right, finally, let's run through a few other key developments from the last 24 hours in a quick fire round. Ready? Okay, first, MetaMask is rolling out native Bitcoin support, a massive deal for expanding its reach. Second, an analyst report is calling for some high volatility for Bitcoin, so expect some pretty sharp moves. And third, U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump mentioned he'd consider a pardon for the CEO of Samurai Wallet. So yeah, from wallets to markets to politics, this space is moving at lightning speed. AI verdict? Capital is flowing back in as traditional finance builds deeper integrations and regulators start to lay down the long-term rules of the road. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in next episode.